Hello, everybody. This is the Chocolate News Podcast, and this podcast is sponsored by the Council on Aging. I'm your co host, John Alexander Reese.
And I'm your co host, Andrea Carter.
And if you didn't know, the Cincinnati Herald has been around since 1955 and is the leading African American owned newspaper in the greater Cincinnati area and northern Kentucky. So, Andrea, how's it going?
It's going fine. It's kind of like toward the end of summer. I enjoyed the Black Family Reunion over the weekend, and now kind of like waiting for the fireworks next week for Labor Day weekend. So you're in that lull before fall comes, and you're like
Yeah.
fall stuff. And
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of fall, but you know what? It is what it is.
well, I'm kind of like waiting on the Labor Day specials to go on see what's on sale because I need some new fall dresses and stuff. So,
Right.
I'm gearing up for that. So, but I'm in a good mood today. So,
All right. Well, that's good to hear. So, what's the chocolate news of the week, Andrea?
the first chocolate news is something that I've been waiting on because I, like other 43 million other people in this world, are paying on student loans. Biden announced today that he plans to deliver on his campaign promise to provide at least $10,000 in debt cancellation for student loans. Yay! Yes!
No, that's
Yes!
amazing. A politician actually followed through on his promise. That's
I,
great.
I know. So, I mean, basically, anyone who earns less than $125,000 a year, or families earning less than 250,000 will be eligible for this $10,000 loan forgiveness. I know my sister's going to be jumping up and down about this because she and we both have student loans, like you wouldn't believe. And you didn't think you would be when you got a loan you'd be paying it off this long, but stuff happens.
Yeah.
So I think this is a welcome relief for a lot of people. It's not everything because I'm still going to have some stuff left over, but my payment will probably go down a little bit, and that helps. Every little bit helps, and $10,000 forgiveness is fantastic. I just wonder what the timeline's going to be when you see this lobbed off and go from there. So it opens up so many opportunities, and they are also continuing to hit a pause and freeze the repayment of student loans. The current pause was supposed to end on August 31st, and I think the new pause is going to end at the end of the year. I'm still waiting to sort of see they may change that or not. So, but overall, this is good. I mean, this is what governing is all about.
Right.
Sticking to your promise, seeing where people need help. It's not a black, white, brown issue. It is an issue for everyone who has gone to college and had to take out a loan to pay for that education. Even if you went to school for a skill or anything like that, if you have a student loan, this is a welcome relief of some payment of something. And so I'm very happy about that. So that's one. A little sad note that Dr. Fauci, the man who got us through HIV and now the man who got us through COVID, has decided to retire. Originally he said he was going to retire at the end of Biden's first term, and he stepped up that notification that now he's going to retire at the end of the year because the COVID pandemic is slowly dying down. It's still with us, but I think enough people are vaccinated and there's enough pharmaceutical companies involved in helping to tackle it that we're not going to be caught off guard. But I hope whoever takes his place will be up on keeping us abreast on pandemic protocol and what we can always hope that nothing else will occur, but you don't know what's out there, what's mutating, what's being created. But it's kind of like Dr. Fauci's been around for a long time,
Yes.
long, long
Since at
time.
least the 80s, right? Or is it 70s?
No, the 80s. He's been around since the 80s. He's the one who led the investigation into the HIV.
Mm.
And, you remember in the 80s, the gay community went through all that and things like that, and the stigma and the medication and everything. And so now you see commercials on television where you pop one pill or two and you're good to go for the most part. I mean, it's still around, but they're not dying like you used to be from HIV. But it's kind of sad to see him go. But you know what? He is, what, 72?
No, I think he's in his 80s, if I remember correctly, early 80s.
He's in the early 80s. He looks so good for his age.
I mean, I know that he runs every day. So I think he runs like 4 miles every day, which puts me to shame.
Well, I'm still trying to work walking into my schedule every day. Um, but I mean, the man looks good, and you hate to see that amount of information walk out the door. I should say intellectual information walk out the door when he
Right.
retires. But I'm hoping that he has prepared enough people on his staff to be able to take his place and step up to the plate and be like, boom, this is what we need to do. So,
Well, I heard something interesting. I was reading an article in the Hollywood Reporter today, and they said, book deal. Well, obviously, he's going to do a book, but they said he might go to TV. He could get a sweet TV gig, and if that's true,
oh,
ooh, that would be a lot of money.
that would be a lot of money.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
oh.
if he had like a daily talk show, that would be good. I know that would bring in a ton of viewers and a ton of ratings and a ton of money. So that would be interesting if that is true.
Well, I would just say that I hope they keep him on retainer as a
Yeah,
consultant because you would hate to see his knowledge not be there to help us through any next thing that may occur. But more power to him. It's time for him to rest, relax, and not have to play politics and things like that. So,
yeah,
um,
definitely.
congratulations on your retirement. A job well done. I just hope when he walks out the door, he gets more than a gold watch and a pat on the head. I hope they really celebrate him when he leaves. And then the Columbus Education Association, the largest teachers association in Ohio, is on strike. And kids are supposed to start school today.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be an online program, and on Monday, the school board for the Columbus School District received over 35,000 emails from parents saying, "No, we're not doing this," because
Mm,
parents learn through COVID what works and what doesn't work, and online learning does not work. Let me take that back. Online learning works well for some students,
right.
but not every student is good for online learning because you get tired. I get tired on Zoom calls. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I know
Think
what
how
you
tired
mean.
you get. So it's just think about kids, and on top of that, kids are still learning how to socialize. Kids need that interaction. They need that everyday component before they go to a Zoom class. And what's interesting, this strike is not about money. It's not. It's about safety. It's about good working conditions, and it's about the board taking a step up and doing more for the kids than they have been in the past. And I have a family member, I have a cousin who is a teacher in the Columbus School District, and she is on the picket line. I called her, checking up on her to see how she was doing emotionally, and I was hearing the picking signs and the chants in the background as she was talking to me. So they're hitting it hard, and they're in for the long haul. And I would just say that with everyone facing teacher shortages, everyone is watching this very carefully because it's time now to put up and shut up.
Right.
We know what people went through. Yes, they have some new schools and things like that, but some of those schools were built shoddily,
Yeah.
and they have problems where rain comes in, snow comes in. Not everyone has a air conditioner in their room. School rooms are getting up between 80 and 100 degrees. They're fighting for quality of life, for a quality education. And I think the mayor has come out, and the mayor of Columbus has come out and said both sides have to get back together and negotiate. I know they negotiated yesterday. I don't know if they're negotiating again, but that's where it is. So
Well,
I
I saw the video of some of these schools and I was just like, this is horrible. I said, I can't believe the kids have to go to school like this. It's like I
yes,
saw the rain coming down on the water, all the mold and stuff. I said, this is ridiculous. This should not be allowed to happen.
yes. And so that I mean, and if you think about it, also in Philadelphia, that school, one of the school systems in Philadelphia, is on strike. 2,000 teachers are on strike in Philly right now as well. And teachers are, yes, they're scared about COVID and some other things, but at the end of the day, it's not just about pay. It's about quality of the building, the facility, the things that you do to help educate the child every single day. And teachers deserve excellent classrooms. They deserve to have all the technology at hand so they can teach the children everything that's going on in history, in education, in English, in math, things like that, so that they can encourage the children to develop well, so they can be prepared for later on in life. So it's kind of sad that it's happening, but at the same time, I think everyone is watching this and see what happens next. Next up, it's kind of sad when officers get caught doing their job but not doing it well.
Yeah.
Um, Three, Arkansas. I don't know if anyone saw this video. I remember it got sent to me on Facebook. And I saw this video and I was like, what are they doing? And then I saw it was like, who are they beating on? And believe it or not, this time around, it was not a black person or a brown person.
Shocking.
But then again, it's Arkansas.
Yeah.
So, you know, not putting
Yeah.
anything against Arkansas, but it's Arkansas.
Yeah.
Um, but these three law enforcement officers were holding this guy down. They were kicking him, kneading him. It's a very brutal video of this guy outside. I believe it was outside a convenience store. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's either
Um,
convenience store or gas station, something like that.
Something like that. Have you noticed that a lot of incidents between individuals and police officers are either a traffic stop or a convenience store?
Yeah, that is something. I never really thought about that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like what's going on? But
Yeah.
anyway, so these officers are suspended, and the state police have launched an investigation into the video that was posted, and they were unaware that they were being recorded until toward the end of the video.
Mm.
And you see one police officer look up and like he looks, hey, you see him go, hey, and he points to the person who's recording to get out of the area. So, but wrong is wrong.
Oh yeah.
I don't. I as a supporter of those in authority, I expect those who are hired to protect us and serve us treat individuals right. Is use of force necessary only in extreme cases? I don't know what this man did. I don't know why he was being held down and kicked at. But unless he was being violent toward them and they have a right to react, you should not be doing that to an individual.
It was a bad look. Like I was getting like Rodney King vibes from that beat
Yes,
down. I mean, they excuse my language, they beat the shit out of him. Like, oh my God.
they did. I mean, I was like, oh my god, it's unreal. And again, I just have to go back to Cincinnati police. They have evolved so much from where we were back in 2001 with
Right.
Rodney with I cannot think of the young man's name. Timothy
Timothy
Thomas.
Thomas, yeah.
They have evolved. So it took a minute, but they have evolved to where, are they perfect? No. But are they what they were 20 something years ago? No. And I think for that, we can be grateful that we have a more evolved police department, that every police department should be doing the same thing. Are they going to be perfect? No. Do they need to continue to evolve and grow more in policing? Yes. But at least we're not seeing what we're seeing around the country. I think we're in unfortunately, in police departments around Cincinnati, there have been examples of extreme behavior. But with the collaborative agreement, we've gotten a police force that works with us and
Mm-hmm.
protects us, truly protects us and the community, even though they could do more, but they truly protect us. And for that, I have to be grateful that we're not seeing an Arkansas incident. That's not saying that it could not happen, because there can be an incident where that could occur. But for right now, I'm very grateful that our police department is not like Arkansas, which is horrific. So I'm hoping we get an update on this, so that we can update the people on what's happening next with these Arkansas officers, because we try to keep up to date on everything that's going on police wise in the country to bring the best information possible here. So it's just a shame. Oof, that video. Oof,
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
it was pretty bad. And then all I can say is 45.
45.
45. When you think he might settle down, he does something else to just, you're like, can't we get a break? Can we
Nope.
not? But you know what? I have to say it like this. 45 wants to seek out a special master to review the Mar-a-Lago documents seized by the FBI, which I doubt the FBI would even say no. He's in a world of hurt. He's been caught on so many. I mean, and just think about this. They initially got 15 boxes back from him, and then found out he had more, and had to go back to his residence and get which was the search warrant, to get the rest of the material that he was not supposed to take, unless it was housed like what Obama did in a special facility to be archived, so then that they can eventually be used in the presidential library. He's not even
Exactly.
talking that. So, and I think it's kind of like he's like this ripple effect. He's the pebble in the pool of water, and it continues to ripple all the time, and it ripples and ripples and ripples. And I think the effect of the ripples we are starting to see in the political world. And I think this guy is bad news.
Yeah.
Um, when he should never have run for president.
Nope.
He should have just stayed that guy who says some crap. We all love him, and go off and sell something. He should have stayed that used carsman-esque guy that we
Yeah.
all love and hate at the same time.
Yeah.
Instead, the country elevated him in reaction to Obama. That's how I'm putting it.
Yeah.
They elevated this guy, and we're now and people have bought into his crap. The Republican Party has bought into his crap
Yeah.
because they've never seen popularity like they've seen before. And on the one hand, they're using his antics to try to hold on to power. But at the same time, the country is coming out and saying, okay, we may agree with him on some things, but when it comes to governing, you got to cut the crap out. You got to step up to the plate. And I think with the primary, I'm going to go off a tangent right now. The primary election between New York and Florida that just got settled last Tuesday night, everyone is starting to see what is happening within the Republican Party and within the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
And and I think we need to continue to watch the silent majority
Yeah.
and what they're not saying. Because right now we're hearing from the left and the right, the extremes. We're hearing from the extremes. And in the middle's not saying anything. But when
Yeah.
the middle steps up and says, yes, I'm going to vote, the middle is speaking loudly. And especially in reaction to 45. And I think the midterm elections is going to be a very interesting night. I think whoever's going to do early voting, who's going to do mail-in, like for the Florida primary, my father, and my sister both did mail-in ballots because they can do mail-in voting.
Right.
A lot of people in reaction to DeSantis, who wants to be the next Trump-esque person,
I call him Trump light.
Trump-like person. I didn't want to say that word, but I had to. Um, the reaction from what the pundits were saying on the news the other night is people are tired. They're tired of being bombarded. They're tired of the lack of respect for quality of life. They're tired of politicians putting their nose in places that they don't need to be putting their nose in places,
Yeah, exactly.
and trying to control the narrative on a local level to a national level. And when you reach that far and that broadly, you start to things start to slip through the fingers. And I think we're starting to see that slippage. And I think the Republican Party is recognizing that they have traveled down a road they should have pulled back from some time ago.
Yeah,
And now the effects of that road, especially with the Supreme Court decision regarding abortion, they've gone a step too far.
they have.
And I think they're about to have a very severe course correct that's going to hurt them. I don't think it'll hurt them a lot, but will hurt them in the midterm elections. That it's going to be a very interesting time. And I think the more 45 acts up, the more people are going to react in different ways to the responses of 45's actions and the fact that he can accept reality.
Yeah, I agree. And all I can say about the Trump train is that it's going to come to a screeching halt sooner than some people expect. And I know all the Trumpers are going to be, what? How did this happen? I said, look what 45 has done. Of course, it was going to come to a screeching halt. It's like there's a very real possibility that he's going to jail. I hope he goes to jail, but well, I shouldn't be like that. Well, maybe I should, but
Well, no,
all
he, as Merrick Garland said, no one is above the law.
yeah,
Some people might get away with it. Some people might pay good enough lawyers to sort of have an impact on it. But the level of scrutiny that he is going through, and the fact that he doesn't pay his lawyers,
yeah, yeah. He's
I'm
super cheap.
surprised. I'm surprised that people are still working for him.
I know. Oh, they're
Um,
doing it for publicity because they can go Fox News and say, "Yeah, I worked for Trump." That'll give them a, or some other whatever right
but you
wing
notice
news.
something? Fox News is changing their tune too,
Yeah, that's
somewhat.
true. Yeah,
Depending
somewhat.
upon who you're watching. I try not to watch them too often because they just, when it comes to brain and my eyesight, it hurts my soul when I listen to them because I'm like, what world are you living in?
Yeah, a little piece of me dies every time I watch Fox News. So,
I I I take it in snippets, like the YouTube snippets that you see. I
yes,
take them in snippets because that's all I can stand.
yeah.
So I would just say in the long saga, and I'm wondering when they're going to do a TV movie.
I no, I'm expecting a feature length film that's playing on the big screen, and I'm just wondering who they're going to get to play Trump. I'm just excited about it because
Oh,
there's going to be a Trump movie. It's just a matter of when, and I'm going to be so. It's just going to be very interesting movie. That's all I have to say.
you know what? There won't be a Trump movie until he's arrested.
Yeah. Right.
You know, but
Yes.
and on top of that, have you noticed he keeps expanding?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that he must be eating fast food? You know, I'm sorry, but in this day of farm to table, eating healthy, gluten free, blah, 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 fast food is not good for you. You have to think about his arteries. Think about his health.
McDonald's, only the best for Trump. McDonald's.
Yeah, I like McDonald's too. I like their French fries,
Yeah, their
but
French fries are good.
their French fries, actually their fish sandwich. I am now have due to eating more healthily, I go for their fish sandwiches, which are very good. So, fish sandwiches and French fries at McDonald's. But the shake, when the shake machine works,
Yeah, which is
it
like
it's
never.
it works a little bit more often than never. But um, they also do make good vanilla lattes. I
Mm,
love the vanilla lattes. But anyway, we're getting off subject.
yes.
Um, but I mean, it's kind of like fall's coming, so that push is coming on. I think I'm excited about a number of races around the country that Trump has a hand in, and it's going to be interesting the effects because everyone's touting, when he supported a candidate, they won the primary, and I'm like, okay, but what happens when you get to the general election? Or is it going to go more for him and his candidate? Or are they finally going to wake up and be like, no?
Well, these Trump endorsed candidates, all I have to say, it's not going to go the way you think it is. That's all I have to say about that.
I'm hoping, but it's kind of like you have to ride that wave, like the Tea Party, like everyone else. You have to ride that wave and figure out where you stand, but stand for the issues that support you, not an ideology or things like that. And I'm surprised how many people vote against their issue.
Yeah,
And I'm like, why did
it's
you vote that way?
yeah, it's surprising,
But
but
anyway, so
yeah,
that's the chocolate news for the week. I'm looking more forward to more, but for right now,
yeah,
that is what's happening this week. So,
yeah. Well, thank you, Andrea, for discussing all of that chocolate news. Greatly appreciate
oh, well, you know me, I just go on a tangent. You never know.
it.
I like discussing what's happening in the world and where our worlds intersect with that. And we're seeing the effects of everything that's going on right now down the road. I just hope that. Oh, I do want to mention Ukraine celebrated their Independence Day, their 30th anniversary of being an
Oh,
independent nation. And I know the U.S. is supporting them again. My heart goes out to Ukraine. I hope you, a la Star Trek, live long and prosper
yeah.
and go from there. It's because, I am a Trekkie. So.
Yeah, of course. And once again, I want to thank the Council on Aging for sponsoring this episode. And remember, you can find more information about today's topics and past podcast episodes at www.thecincinnatiherald.com, the Sesh newsletter, or on our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app. Our podcast is on Apple, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Amazon, YouTube, and Google Podcasts. And in addition, the Cincinnati Herald is still looking for a news distribution and delivery agent. Please contact our publisher, Walter White, at 513-680-7076 for more information. I'm John Alexander Reese,
And I'm Andrea Carter.
and have a good day.